Hey, thanks. Yeah, again, thanks for having me. Let's jump into my presentation. So I have to mute my phone because Michael just called me. I guess he want to get me back to my camera. I was just in the kitchen to grab some water to drink, which is very important to stay healthy and don't dehydrate. Okay. I want to talk about Cypress, and this is my agenda, so it's not that interesting, I guess. So let me just introduce myself. Thanks for that, Israel. So my name is David Müllerchen. So this is a very strange name, even in Germany. And years ago, someone called me Web Dave because I started programming JavaScript, and that's it. I've never studied something. I'm totally autodidacted, so I teach everything myself. I can. So the good and the bad. Maybe they are okay. They are equal. My handle is webdave_de. You can find me with this handle on Twitch, Instagram, and and Twitter. Oh, totally lost in translation. Instagram is just for promotional and from commercial stuff, but on Twitter I have my DMs are open, so you can send me direct messages and ask me anything about freelancing and web development and Angular, obviously, because my hot topic is Angular. And I do some AMA session once per month on YouTube or on Twitch. So if you follow me on Twitter, you will get the information about where I will go next online for my next session. Yeah, and I'm very hot on the spot when it comes to community. So this is one of my handle. So I created the hashtag community rocks because I'm totally autodidact. I teach everything myself with the help of the community. So I want to give back a lot, and I get so I'm active in all over Europe, mostly in the German-speaking area. So and the Google Developer Expert program. So this is my in German we say my turf. This is my home place where I am active, and I'm rocking also. I play bass and guitar, so this is just a little icebreaker for the beginning. Okay. Let us just remember Black Lives Matters, and I am Antifa, so anti-fascistic. So please keep in mind to be fair and kind to each other. Very important. Okay, this talk is created with some help from a friend. He's one of the DevRel team of Cypress. This is Gleb. I'm not, I don't dare to pronounce his name because I can't. His name is Gleb. Okay, this is his Twitter handle, so give him a follow and a shout out on Twitter. Okay, what is Cypress? This is what we are talking here. Cypress is an E2E testing tool. It's if you run it on your machine, it comes with an Electron client. Electron is some kind of browser instance where you can customize the view, and you can use inside like Visual Studio Code or Atom or the Slack app. These are Electron applications where you can set up the UI. And Cypress use these setup to run the test. And it runs the test inside of this Electron setup, and works like a proxy. So every single call from your website to any kind of server will go through this Electron proxy, and you can intercept everything and handle everything by this Electron. But E2E, what is this? Obviously, E2E, maybe you heard about this. This is just end-to-end. This is the kind of testing when it comes to user story testing or user journey testing. So if you want to test some flows, this is what we call an end-to-end test. So the user starts somewhere, and we test from the front end to the back end, so end to end, the whole flow from front end to back end and reverse, and then the user will see what happens and is able to run the whole flow. This is end-to-end testing. Okay, how to integrate it in your project? Cypress is not limited to Angular or to any kind of JavaScript framework. All you have to do is, or all you have to, you can test with this is a website. So you just have to have a website. In Angular, it's very easy to integrate it. You can use the schematic. There's a schematic brought to us from Brubak. This is the Brubak Cypress schematic. You run ng add and then Brubak, whatever, you can see it. And this all set up for your application and for your project to get Cypress up and running is done for you automatically. This takes about 5 minutes and that's done. And after this, you can just run the test by running ng test, ng e2e. I know there's a typo in the title. We ignore it. This is a unit test, so we're talking about end-to-end testing. So we ignore these units. So just by running ng e2e, then the CLI, the Angular CLI, don't use the protector setup. It uses the Cypress setup for this. On the first one, Cypress creates a structure. You can see the first structure here. This is a folder called Cypress, and then inside there you have some other folders which are very important and very helpful when it comes to set up stuff. We will talk about this in a second or now. Let me switch to my Visual Studio Code. And oh, don't spoiler. Okay. Let me see here. So we have here this kind of so this is the Cypress folder. And inside there we have fixtures, we have integration, plugins, and so on. Fixtures, this is the place where you can set kind of data you want to mock. This is your place where you can take mock data from. So in Cypress, you have the possibility to say, hey, get data from this mock and check if the result of a call is the same as my mock data. Or you can say, hey, I don't want to go to the backend. I want to use my interceptor, my Cypress interceptor to answer this call. So maybe if the backend, if there is no testing backend, then maybe it's a good way to have a mocked backend. And this is very easy just by using this fixtures folder. It's in the first place, there is just an example JSON, and this is how it's called, just a JSON. And you can take this inside of your test. We will see it later. You can say, okay, get fixtures, example, JSON, and then Cypress knows, okay, I have to go to this folder and grab this JSON and answer your call with this data. Okay, then next we have the integration. This is the place where we have the all our tests inside of this, and inside of this we can write our tests. So I'm just confused because my browser just shows me crazy stuff. Okay, these are the test files, the end-to-end testing files. These spec files is the per default generated file which comes automatically from Cypress for you. It says, okay, we have this you know this from Karma and all the other testing libraries that you have for it, and you have inside of this you can write your tests and you can build some kind of test suites and so on. We will see this in a second. And we can name it. And you can find these named test cases in your Cypress UI. We see this later. And Then we have plugins. In plugins, we can have some kind of plugins to set up some configurations. You can say, okay, we want to extend, for example, the Cypress API to have some better or easier way to interact with web components, for example. There's on the website, there's a lot of stuff for plugins and so on. And there are these both photos, screenshots, and videos there, which holds exactly what you are thinking about. In screenshots, you can perform screenshots during your testing. And in videos, you will get the video of your test when there is an error. So we will see this. And support is also, you can have here commands to extend the Cypress API. This is something else. Okay, let me show you how it works when it comes to Cypress NGE2E. This is my my call NGE2E, and if you take a look here, this is the application. You know, this is the I guess it's still the initial application which is generated by the CLI. So you have here some buttons where you can click, and then you see there is some kind of stuff going on here in this terminal box. Okay, we can close this. When you run NGE2E, Cypress kicks up the process and starts the Cypress command interface. This is the Cypress command. I call it Cypress command interface. I'm not sure if it's the right name, but I call it like this. And inside of this test, you can see all the test cases we have. Let me just stop this here. So we can see here all the single, no, in this one, all the test files we have here in these in the integrations folder. Every single spec file you have here, or every single file you have inside of this will be found by this here. You can have deep structures. In one of my last projects, we are asked to have a structure in the tests to have, okay, we have some tests for structured by features. Let's have a folder for feature A and then a folder for feature B and so on. And this is what we have here the same. You can see then that there is a structure, and Cypress makes a grab of this folder and find all the spec files or all the TS files. By clicking on one of these, you can run one single of these specs, or you can say, okay, run all. But I want to, don't spoiler more. I just want to click on this. When I click on this, we can select which kind of browser we want to run. So you can see there is, you have the possibility to use Chrome or Firefox or Edge, which is the new Edge, okay? And Electron, which is just the Electron browser. We stay here on Chrome, and when I say spec, there starts this browser, which says, hey, this browser is controlled by external software. And then we see the Electron interface of Cypress. This is you can separate this in three parts. So this here is the command line, or the command or how it's called, the timeline, I guess, where you can see all the tests. This is your application where you which you want to test. Yeah, you remember it looks exactly the same as the application we had. And this here is the URL bar and with some kind of playground. You can select here stuff, and then you can click on stuff here, like there, and then it says, okay, this is the element. For example, Cypress is built with jQuery. Don't mess around with jQuery. jQuery is very awesome, because if jQuery would have never happened, the web wouldn't be there where we are now. So we can use here the same selector as you know from CSS or from jQuery. So when we say, okay, find the span, then it says, okay, these are all the spans. Or if we say, okay, get a div. Let's see if there are the divs. Oh, all these are divs. So I found 15 divs. So this is just the playground. But this here, the command line, or I guess it is the command line. Here you can see all the single commands and tests you have run. And when we take a look on our test file spec here, this here, you can see, okay, we have at first we did the very most important stuff. We said, okay, visit. This means, hey, browser, open and visit this page, which is the standard localhost 4200 page from the CLI. And then you can say, okay, CI is the shortcut for is the global for Cypress. And you have a lot of you can use. Let me just show you this here. It says, okay, replace with something. It says, hey, there is no replace with something on this page here. So you say, hey, I expect to find this phrase here. And when we go there and say, oh, okay, there is no, we can now check for Cypress test app is running. Let us check this here. Cypress test. I guess it was written like this. So the tests are rerunning the same way like everything you know from the up-to-date web development. So there is a change event triggered, and then Cypress checked, oh, there's a file change, so I rerun the test. And then it's green. So he found this one. And when we now hover over this stuff, we can see what happened. When I go here, or on contain, you can see that this here is highlighted. It says, hey, I found Cypress test here on this. So you can debug your test after you've written it, and it's very easy to find, okay, what did I find? Why maybe is there an error? And you can I call it the DX, the developer experience is very, very high on this, because Cypress takes care about the developer and helps how how developer would use testing. And this is the most important topic, for my opinion, for this, because if the developer don't enjoy testing, then they don't test, because testing is still, sadly, is a very raw found feature, and rarely found feature, sorry. And so we want to have the threshold for testing low. So make a good developer experience so that people start testing. Okay, let me check. We want to check that there is, maybe this is something new. I added an input field, which is not a part of the original stuff. Yeah? So when we go in the input field here, there is somewhere is let me find it. Input. There it is. And it has a class. The class is hoods. If you're a German or German-speaking person, then you will know it. Otherwise, go for YouTube and search for hoods, or don't. I don't know. So we can search for class names or something else. So like hoods, and then this is highlighted. So we can use Cypress to test even these. So let me open a new it and say type, and the next param is then this one. So and inside of this, oh yeah, this is nice. Hey, what's up? I wanted to click it here. Okay, so and now inside of this we can first we have to visit again this. I show you how we can improve this, and then we want to find this input field. So find and then get. You can see IntelliSense is rich here. I love it. I love it. Okay, we go and find the input field. And now this is an input field. We can, here is some IntelliSense from this. We can send stuff to this by just using type, and then we can send text to it, like hello. What should I say? I'm not sure. Okay, wait. Front end love. Capital love. When we should find it. Oh yeah, hello front end love. And you saw how quick it was, because these have been 2 tests. Imagine it, how long it would take if you do this with Protractor to fire up the Protractor server, then fire up the browser, and then run all the stuff inside this, fire up all the code, and then this is, I don't know, 20 times faster. Feels like this. Okay, so we can send types for this, but we want to test, okay? We can click on it. Let me just see this one. We want to click on component, and then we want to check if here is component in, okay? So for example, we want to find something, cy.get. Oh, we can, this here. Okay, I take this one just for this. And we can click it just by this. Click. We can also perform a double click, right click, and so on. And if we have some layer over this, which is sometimes happens when you're working with web components, then sometimes you have to force true. So to set an object inside which says force true to bubble the click event through the next stage and to reach this element. Just saying this. Okay, when we click it, let me just check if it worked. Maybe we shouldn't go for the first time. We should go for material. Okay, that's this one. I guess what this one? Is this one? I'm not sure. Oh yeah. So now we want to check if this here happens. When we open this up and we say, okay, this is front end, you can see there is a red dot here. It says there, you can see that down, if you take a look here where my mouse is here. Can you see my mouse? No, you can't see my mouse. But on the bottom of the screen, of this Cypress screen, you see a toggling of this DOM snapshot before and after this action. I type before, it's empty, after there is. And if I click here, you can see, okay, this is how the DOM snapshot looks before I click this button and after it clicked. Okay, now let's find the terminal. Let me just find it. And it is use this one. How is it called? Oh, terminal. This was easy. Way too easy. Okay, we can say, okay, cy.get and dot terminal. And we can say contain. Oh no, I want to show something else. You can, now you can do some assertions like should. And now you can have a chainer, which is the assertion, and then you can set the value. And this is also strong type, so you get IntelliSense here. When I type like this and say I'm master of typos. Oh, okay, this one. Should or contains, should contain, no, should, hey, let me find it, should contain. And then the next one, you can say, okay, we want to have these kind of funny text here inside. And we say, okay, it should contain, oh, this one. So, so I saved it. And we find a click, and it says, okay. So, and here it says kernel and should contain this hit. If we now, let's step back and think about, okay, when we have some interaction which we have maybe several times. For example, I want to click on this, and I want to check what's going on here. Then I want to click on this. I want to check what's going on here. Then I want to click on this, and so on. So this can be, we can just go in here and just repeat it, copy paste. But we can set aliases here. We can set up an alias, means we can save a DOM, for example, a DOM node, save it in a variable, and then we can use this variable, this reference to this DOM node, and say, okay, go to this saved DOM node and check what's in it. This means we can say sci get terminal, and then we can, oh wait, and we can say as. And then we name it terminal, obviously. Oh, wait, let's name it terminator, because we are nerds. Haha. And an E, terminator. Okay, you get it. Should be a joke. Then we can say, okay, get this terminator. Oh, it's hard to pronounce. But we don't say it like this. We add the before this. This means, hey, get the reference you find at this value, and then go there. Let me check if it works. I'm a bit nervous at the moment. Oh, it worked. So we can see, okay, here is this terminator, and then we can check it. So when we now click on several buttons, we can always say, okay, get to this DOM reference and check what is inside of this. You can use this as this alias syntax here also for saving some kind of requests, for example. Let me now reveal my test I have here. So for my example, I have. Do I have it? This is my test I wrote beforehand, so I prepared something. And so you can see we have a describe which sets up a test suite, and then I set up with before each that I open up the browser and visit the site, and then I get all the spans, and I get the diff with the terminal class and save it as terminal. And this was a German, so I'm a German, so I'm not sure why, but I wrote this stuff in German. So it says, okay, if we visit the site, we expect to find Cypress test app is running somewhere in a span. Okay, so when we go there and say, okay, oh no, go there and say stop it, and we start this here, we should see some more stuff going on with flipping forward and backwards and so on. And the we are waiting. Okay, there's it. visit. Okay, there it is. And you can see all the buttons are clicked, and every time I just say, okay, get this reference, this terminal, and check if there is this text in this. Maybe you think about, okay, maybe this is always the same. Maybe is this not too much, but maybe this is critical stuff on your website, on your application, so you should test it. Is there a way to test? I don't know. Is there a way to test too little? Yeah, definitely. So it's better you test with some kind of this too much than to test it too little or too less. So try to test all the critical stuff on your site, and then you should be fine. Okay, let me check if I can show you how to use, for example, to intercept REST calls. If you want to intercept a REST call, you have to start up. Or let me go back to my other file, to this one. You have to set up something called, it's the router. The router, server, and then the server. You have to set up the Cypress server, and then you can intercept routes. Routes are the REST routes. You can add some kind of spice for this. You can say, okay, if someone is calling this URL, this endpoint, then we want to maybe answer with the fixture. This must be done on the very first place. Server. Like this. You have to limit some action or some options here you have in the server. You would go with an option, and then you can say, okay, what kind of methods are allowed? Which kind do you want to use? A special kind of course header, and so on. Okay. But if you are interested in this, you should go to CypressIO to find all the documentation, which is very great. I want to know. So then we can say, okay, cy.route, and then we can set up a route. For example, it's a string, HTTPS, and frontendlove.org. I don't know if it is real. And then we can save it as, with a point, it's chained. And we can save it as love, Mr. Love. Okay. So it means whenever someone, some kind of button is getting or calling this website, then we can get it and interactive, and maybe answer with some special stuff, with some customized stuff, like the example here. For example, we can how can we force it? We can force it here, and no, we can force it in this here HTTP client, and then we can say http.get, and we need this here. So it's not important that this is a real site, just for showcasing here. And just make, sorry, Michael, I do a subscribe here, okay? Forgive me. So just for showcasing, don't do this at home. So now we can, this be, whenever this thing is found, and we can say, okay, get this call. I hope it works. So I'm a bit nervous. Maybe I will totally fail now. And we say love. Oh, wait. Love. And then we can check should. And we can check now that for example, the body should the body wasn't there a body? Body, no. Should. Yeah, there it is. Okay. How can I solve this? I don't know. So I'm too nervous for this at the moment. Let me quick. This is the only thing I haven't prepared. Okay, you can do it. Check. I wrote a blog post. You can find it on webdave.de. It's an English written blog post about Cypress, and I explain how you can intercept REST calls. Another cool thing you can do here is you can, for example, do screenshots. Like here, you can say, okay, Cy, and then screenshot just here. And you have to go and just do some kind of, I guess it's like here, like this. Let me check this one. No, I'm totally lost. Okay, rerun it. It's running. And then we should see some kind of new screenshot. I hope like this. All specs. Or let me just empty this, okay? This is screenshot. Yes. And yes. Okay. And I want to just run my my single here just to save time. I hope it's okay. And then we should find a new screenshot here. If it works. It should work. You can run a Cypress. Also, now this is how you run Cypress on your machine. But of course, you can run it in your CI. Then you have just have to run in the CI as and Cypress will do all the same without this browser and this Electron stuff. It will run headless Chrome inside of your CI, and it will then come up with a video if there is an error, and the video should work like, oh, is it like this? Screenshot. And now, do I have a screenshot? Oh yeah, there's my screenshot. So this is my screenshot. Done yet. If we have an error, we will have the a screencast of the whole test. We will find on your server. So it means you can see, even if you can't see in the CI. Oh, genius! And you can see what went wrong, and you can debug it. I hope this was not too confused. And I hope it was helpful. You will find all this code. We will find it on my GitHub repository. Let me just create a new branch, and I say it's frontendlove, and I will commit it. Go for it. And say, okay. So you will find it on my GitHub account. You can get it here. Git remote. No git. Oh wait, I have to push it, huh? Wait, I kicked it. No, everything's fine. Everything's fine. What's happened? Okay, forget. I will push it after me. So I'm running out of time. I'm still here.
Yeah, we are still here. In case you were wondering if you kicked the stream or not. Yeah.
Okay. What is my time?
No, I think we are already a bit past time, Dave. But you are doing not only a great demo by live coding on stage, but now also even live committing, live pushing. You're going the extra mile there, creating some awesome examples for our community. So, I want to thank you very much for this presentation. I think it was a very good explainer of how Cypress can not only be very beneficial for our process, but how it's actually really powerful, right?
Yeah, and the most important thing is that it comes up with this what I mentioned before. I call it DX developer experience. It's so awesome when you can debug your testing code.
Really
Try to debug your protector code or your
indeed.
they call it. Yeah.
So, well, for the Q&A session, we are going to invite every audience member that has a question to join us on Hopin. I'm going to actually join you there after I introduce our last speaker today, but definitely not least.